Kobe Bryant was undoubtedly one of the greatest players of his generation and certainly one of the top players that the league has ever seen. His dazzling playmaking and shooting abilities helped propel the LA Lakers to 5 NBA titles during his time in the league, and he would eventually be inducted into the NBA's Hall of Fame in 2021. His list of accolades is incredibly impressive as well, with 2 MVPs along with being an 18-time All-Star and the 2008 regular season MVP. Even with all these records and accomplishments, several fans seem to overrate Bryant's legacy in terms of the greatest players of all time. Welcome back to our channel, where today we're going to be talking about why Kobe Bryant is not a top 10 NBA player of all time. Sit back and enjoy. First up, he wasn't a team player. Kobe Bryant was surely one of the greatest shooters of all time, but that's exactly what he was, a shooter. For the majority of his career, Bryant prioritized himself over his team, taking some of the most shots in NBA history. Bryant took a total of 26,200 field goal attempts in his career, the 4th most in league history, and only 10 shots less than the great Karl Malone. Yet Karl Malone finished with almost 3,300 more points than Bryant. When you break down the top 10 players in all-time scoring, Bryant is tied with Carmelo Anthony for the worst career shooting percentage at 44.7%. It goes way past his tendency to take shots, however. Bryant clearly preferred to shoot the ball than pass it, as he's 31st in career assists but 5th in total turnovers. Nothing emphasized this more than in Kobe's final game when he dropped 60 points, but he also put up a whopping 50 shots. Not to mention, in the 2008 NBA Finals, he shot an abysmal 40.5% from the field and an even worse 38.1% in the 2004 NBA Finals. While you can't deny his scoring prowess, it would be a lot easier to put him in the top 10 players of all time if he was more of a team player and was a lot more consistent in knocking down shots. Next up, he had lots of talent around him. Now, this isn't a knock on Kobe as a player, but more so at his accolades. While it's rare to be a player with 5 titles, only 25 players have ever gotten 5 or more. It's certainly easier to do so when you're surrounded with top-tier talent. When Kobe's Lakers won the championship in 2010, the Lakers were an absolutely dominant force. Not only did they have Kobe Bryant, they had the #1 power forward in the league at Pau Gasol, the #1 center in the NBA in Andrew Bynum, and a top 3 small forward in Ron Artest. Not to mention, they also had a veteran point guard in Derek Fisher and one of the greatest NBA coaches of all time in Phil Jackson. This isn't to say that Kobe isn't a bad player, it just seems like his teammates always get overlooked, especially when it comes to his first 3 titles, which were won with the help of one of the greatest centers of all time in Shaq. Having a plethora of top-tier talent is crucial when it comes to winning an NBA title, especially in today's league. Just look at how stacked the Golden State Warriors have been in their title years. However, when you look at a top 10 player like Michael Jordan and some of his first title rings, especially with the first three-peat, he never had a true top player around him. Obviously, Scottie Pippen was a fantastic talent, but at the time he wasn't top 3 in his position, and neither were any of the other role players. I mean, think about it. John Paxson, Horace Grant, and BJ Armstrong. When you really think about it and sit down, that's exactly what makes Jordan so great, his ability to will his team to a championship. And I mean, you could potentially say that about Kobe, but it didn't take nearly as much willpower as it did for the great MJ. While you can't deny the incredible talent and impact that Kobe had on the game of basketball, putting him above more well-rounded players is partially disrespectful, along with a touch of recency bias. And it just goes to show how truly difficult it is to be a top NBA talent of all time. But with that, that's all the time that we have for today's video, so thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss another video. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys next time.